Today I want to give you an introduction to the Shopware 6 admin. So if you've ever wondered how the great new interface compared to Shopware 5 or for example compared to Wordpress looks like, just take a close look now. Hello everybody, it's Alexander from Shop Studio here, and like I said, I want to give you an introduction to the Shopware 6 admin because I think it's a really great UI, and you see that the admin is very flexible and that there are a lot of pages, elements and settings to it. It's not my goal to give you a complete overview to every detail, but rather like a gross overview to the most fundamental features. Alright, so let's take a look into the Shopware administration. So you can see here that I'm in the dashboard now. So basically this is the main entry point, and you see here that you only have some statistics. For example, here statistics over the last 30 days, some orders, the turnover, here with empty data because this is just a demo shop. So there's really nothing special to here. On the left side you can of course see the menu. We have like a dashboard here, we have the catalogs with multiple sub items, we have the orders, customers, content marketing, extension settings and the famous sales channels of course. So let's go to the catalogs. The most important thing of course of your shop are the products. So if we click on the product, we can here see a nice overview of the products which are in the shop itself. So basically here we have some regular products, for example main products, but of course it's possible to create variants too. And here you can see if it's active, the price, and some other basic information like the availability. And of course it's possible to filter all the products here, so this is nice. And it's possible to add, for example, columns to show or hide new columns here. And it's even possible inline edit the products too. So if you just want to like rename the name maybe of a product, so this is maybe the most easy way, or maybe you just want to set it active, inactive, and etc. So let's go to a regular product. Here we have the main product. Of course, you can just fill out some general information like the title, the manufacturer, the product number, the description, but you can see that there are more fields. We have prices, we have advanced pricing. For example, we can create conditions for pricing that maybe a specific customer group have a different price compared to the regular customer group. We can assign the sales channels to it. I come to this point later. We can add the media, of course, multiple medias, labeling, but here you have more tabs on the top. And you can see you can fill out your properties, measure, packaging, and etc. And there are lots of fields, even for SEO, cross-selling. You can add like accessories, for example, with menu selection and dynamic product groups. And of course, it's important too to have some good reviews. So it's possible to see them at least, but adding the reviews is only possible via the storefront. Alright, and this is like a regular product, but of course, if you have products with multiple variants, it's common too in e-commerce. We can take a look here at one example, and basically everything stays the same, but if you go to the variants, you can see that you have multiple variants here now. For example, you have one t-shirt or one shirt, which is white M, white XL, etc. And you can like create all the variants with a really nice interface based on your properties. And basically that's it, and then you get like your overview. But the cool thing is that you can of course edit all the variants itself. So basically now we are inside one product variant, and you will see that the fields look very similar to regular products. And this is of course a cool feature. And you can see that the product number changed of course, but here this looks different. For example, we have here title, which is in purple, and you see that the name is inherited from the main product. So basically you don't have to like enter the information twice, 3 times, and etc. It's just inherited, but it's of course possible to edit it too. For example, if you want to rename it to my super cool product, it's no problem, very easy, and we can save it. And if you, for example, have like multiple languages like German and English, you can really translate it here too. And I think it's like very straightforward if you compare it, for example, with WooCommerce. I think this is everything for now. Products, of course, we can have here in the catalogs our reviews, but there are no reviews yet. We have the categories. They are very important because, of course, they form the structure of your shop. So, for example, we have here like food and clothing. And if you go to the storefront, we have here clothing in this case and free time and electronics. And I think food is not visible. You can see it here. It's not green because it's not active. For each category, you can, of course, set the products. It could be like a menu selection or based on properties. For example, I want to show every white t-shirt, for example. We can assign a custom layout to it. So this is basically possible via the shopping experiences. So shopping experiences is very similar to like page builders in WordPress, for example, Elementor, Divi, Visual Composer, and etc. Specific meta titles or descriptions, you can enter them here for SEO. It's also important. And of course, you can like put other subcategories into categories. And I think there's no limit, or maybe like a high technical limit, but I don't know it currently. So if we want to add a new product, we can just have here, just click here to new subcategory. And then of course you can enter the name, etc. And then you are finished and you can save it. And if it's active, it should be then visible here as a drop down or as a mega menu. It's really based on the theme. Here we have the dynamic product groups. So basically you can like add dynamic product groups. For example, like I said, I want to show white, let's say t-shirts. And then you can say, okay, product, maybe it's not like a product. It could be like the properties, choose property. Hopefully I have a proper property is equal to here, perfect, white. And we can create more conditions. We can like create or an and condition too. For example, and if we want only show specific sizes of a shirt or t-shirt, we can, for example, add another property. Property value is equal to here, XL. And then we could save it. For example, in cross-selling or for categories, we can refer to this white t-shirt dynamic product group. And this avoids, of course, the manual addition or the manual adding of the products. All right, here are our properties. The properties are important for the dynamic product group, as you have seen it. But they're also important to create variants. So it's a really important concept of a store because you have to create properties so you can create dynamic product groups and variants too. So for example, if you create like multiple variants, let's say color, you want to create white t-shirts, red t-shirts with a size L, M, XL, you select those properties created here in the variant generator, and then you can create your product variants. Of course, you have like manufacturers too. If you have like, manufacturer specific one, could be like a wine grower, or maybe for clothing, a specific one, you can create them here and reference your products, or other way around. In the products, you can reference your manufacturers, and you can, of course, enrich your product detail pages. If you go to the orders, it's a pretty simple administration here. So we have like an overview here with the order number, sales channel, customer name, billing address, and you can like show and hide columns too and have inline edit if it's possible, or filtering. So basically this interface, the overview of, for example, resources or entities, this is basically same for customers, for other parts of a store. And if you go to a specific order, you can see that we have multiple information here. So we have like, of course, the status. It's better than Shopware 5. We have like multiple status. We have the payment status, delivery status, and we have the order status itself with the email, the phone number, of course, the billing address and shipping address. Every order is assigned to a sales channel, so it's bound to a sales channel basically. And of course, our items here too. And here you can see like the history of the status changes of an order, like the payment status, delivery status. But in this case, only the order status is filled out in this demo shop. So basically we have here like the dates, it was open, add, in progress, add, done, add, etc. Here we have like the shipment, like the shipping method, delivery date, shipping cost. And here we can create like invoices, delivery notes, and more. It really based on the plugins you have installed in your shop. For example, let's create an invoice. So we have like a number, date, we can upload custom documents and add comments, but for now we leave it very basic. Now we're creating one. Right, the page is reloaded now, and if we scroll down, we receive our invoice, and we can now download the PDF. So you don't have to install like third-party plugins in Shopware because this is included really in the standard installation. Let's go to the customers. Here it's very same with our overview page. And if we jump to a specific customer, let's say Mustermann Max, we here have of course some account data like the default payment method, the bounded sales channel, the account status. If it's customer was created via an affiliate code or a campaign code, you can see it here too to analyze it later further. You can see the default shipping addresses, default billing addresses, and in general you can see all the addresses because a customer can have as many addresses as he wants, but only of course one default shipping and billing address. And maybe you want to see all the orders of the customers. Here you can see it too. So basically you can jump directly to the assigned orders. Alright, now to the content section of the Shopware. The first part and the most important part are the shopping experiences. With the shopping experiences, it's possible via the page builder to create custom categories and even custom layout for maybe specific products. Maybe if you have like a really important product which you want to promote more, or maybe you don't like the default design of a product detail page, here you can create a layout and assign it later via the category in the product itself. And for example, if you want to take a closer look at the homepage, we just open the shopping experience here, and now you can see that you can add elements. For example, we have here like a big banner here on the top, but we can of course add more. Let's say maybe we want to have like a full width section, and now we can see our elements. We have like the block category text, images, video, text and images and more. And maybe I just want to add like a video, let's say maybe a YouTube video. We just drag and drop it to the right position. Now we have a video here, and normally for each element it's possible to edit it further. And here of course we can add like a video link, decide if we play this video automatically and add more. And every block, or at least every CMS element, have different settings. And then of course you can like test it, for example on tablets or mobile, vertical, horizontal, or maybe the desktop again. And then you can save it and assign it later. So I think this is a really neat feature. And the cool thing is of course that there are lots of plugins, so you can add new CMS elements into your store by simply installing those paid plugins. Right, now here we are in the media section. So basically here we store all your custom medias and all the default medias, and you just upload them. Or for example, if you upload like images to the product, they get uploaded here too automatically. So basically this is a collection, but of course you can see that they are like folders, and if you click on a folder, there are basically more files in it. But the cool thing is, and not many people know this, that you can go here to the settings, and for example you can of course rename it, but you can pre-create the thumbnails for a product if you, for example, want to optimize for speed. This is the way to go. So here can you edit the list, the thumbnail quality of all the images in this folder. So this is the way how you crop images in Shopware. And if you don't set the correct size here in the admin in this folder, even if you specify it in the storefront, for example, as if you are a developer, you won't get not the right size. So basically you have to create thumbnail size first and then you can use it in the storefront. So do not forget it. And now it's of course important. Here you can define your themes. First you have to of course install them via the extensions. And then you can jump into the theme. For example, this is of course the default one. You can specify colors and more setting. And in the default one, there aren't really many settings, only basic ones like the logo and some main colors. But there are themes in the store where you have 100 or 200 settings or more. So this is more extensive there. All right, and here marketing. In Shopware itself, newsletter recipients are included. So basically, if you have a newsletter opt-in form, you can enter all your addresses, for example, as a customer or visitor. And then if you have proceeded with double opt-in, in case, of course, you are in Europe, you can see as a shop administrator that the customers are now in the table, basically, and you can list them. But there's one important thing. You only are storing the newsletter recipients here, but there is no synchronization to MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, which is at least built in. So if you want to have a synchronization to a third-party newsletter tool, you normally has to go to the Shopware store and buy it. And here, promotions, you can create coupon codes, special deals, with automatic discounts and more. And the cool thing is that the promotions are very flexible. For example, you add your name here of a promotion, of course. You can say valid from, valid until. You can activate it. But then if you save it, some new tabs appear. We have conditions. So basically you can say this coupon is only valid for the sales channel, for a specific one. You can reference specific rules. For example, you say maybe this is only valid for all customers from the US, or only if the moon is very high, so this is very crazy. You can have very crazy rules. So basically you can have every condition you want and be very flexible with all your promotions. And there are of course more options, and of course the discount itself. You can say if you want to apply to the cart, to the entire set, to the set group, apply to a specific range of products only, and more. And there's even advanced prices view. So you can say based on your currency how much discount, for example, you want to give. So you can see the combination, of course, of everything makes it very flexible. And now the extensions itself. So we go to the extensions, now to the store. And if you are properly connected to the store, in case I'm not, here you can directly browse your extensions, all the plugins, themes and apps, and download them directly. So basically you don't have to go to store.shopware.com. You can directly do it here. And if you have installed your extension, for example, here you can have an overview of everything. And there's some basic one. In our case, the Shopware 6 demo data is a basic extension. This is one app I have programmed, 3 per order. This is currently inactive. We have a Shopware Markets, Shopware Store. And if we have downloaded or bought some themes, we can see it here. Okay, in this case, we only have a default theme. So basically, with no themes installed yet, we can have recommendation, but I think it's only working, as you can see, if you are properly connected. And here in the Shopware account, this is how you can connect the store. I know this is a bit confusing maybe now because it seems like I'm connected, but I think because this demo store for YouTube is based behind basic auth, so basically this is password protected, I think maybe this is why the bugs are occurring. But yeah, that's it. And of course you can upload custom extensions to a store. If you have maybe a special one which is exclusively programmed for you, you can do it here. 2 more things. We have the settings, of course. one thing about settings, there are never enough settings for a store. So you can see that we have some menu items here. We have address settings, basic information, business events, import, export, payment. And if you jump into the settings, there are, of course, many possibilities. In this case, maybe it's a bit small for address settings. But the cool thing about the settings in Shopware are that, for example, you can, of course, set them for all sales channel, but maybe you want to say that for the storefront channel, the default one, in our case, I don't want to put postal code in front of city name. So basically, it's possible that you disable it for this specific site channel here. But for example, if you go to all site channel, it's still active. So this is possible too, Shopware, and of course, this makes it very flexible too. But I reset it to the default. And if you go to other settings, like let's say login registration, now you can see that you have a lot more. And there are as many things to it, so you just have to take a look and take your time to understand it. But with every update, new settings will appear, so basically this is like a never-ending story. But there are some important ones, and I think maybe like the most important settings are basically is the rule builder. So here you can create like the basic rules, which are applied, for example, for dynamic product groups, which are applied for like the discounts, basically the promotions. So this is a way to go. And if, for example, click on one rule, here you can see you can like add more conditions. And there's another important thing. This is, of course, the snippets. Basically, this is the way how you can change text in Shopware. This is the way how you can translate text in Shopware. For example, we have here our base snippet set, and if we click on it, here you can see that we have like a technical key on the left side, and on the right side we have like a retranslation. So we have like add address here, and if we want, of course, we can edit it. Maybe we just want to have a different one. In this case, it's like add address, for example, to, and in German could be neue Adresse hinzufügen to. And yeah, of course, you can save it. And then if you clear the cache, and you can clear the cache here, caches and indexes, clear cache, you will see that the new translations are visible in the storefront then. So I told you a bit about the shop settings, but they are like system settings, and one of them are caches and indices to clear the cache, to warm up the cache. You can create like custom fields if you have like you want to add new fields to specific orders, to specific products, or in general. You have like your mailer connection, you can add new users here, administration. So we have roles here too. So it's possible to say, for example, that a specific user only has access to the products. And there's one section which is important, and this is the Shopware update, but it can also be, of course, dangerous. Here it's possible to check for updates and apply updates. But here you always have to know what you're doing here, because if you make the updates wrong, for example, you're not taking care of the plugins enough, or maybe you don't understand them, you can like destroy shop. So of course, be well prepared. Okay, now the last part of this introduction, we have here our sales channels. The sales channels are a very important concept in Shopware 6, and basically with sales channels, it's possible that you have like one Shopware installation with all your orders, all your products, but with multiple sales channels, it's possible to play out the products or to show the products separately, different channel. For example, maybe if you have like two stores with two subdomains, it's possible to have like one installation and to show product 1 only in the first shop and product 2 only in the second shop. So you don't have to have like multiple installation, like multiple Magento shop, multiple WooCommerce shops. You just have one admin interface, and everything, all your discounts, all your orders, all your payment method settings are applied here for all your shops. But of course, it's possible to add different sales channels too. For example, if you want to add Google Shopping, this is a sales channel. if you're selling on Amazon, this is a sales channel too. So you have multiple possibilities here to add new sales channels. You can see eBay, storefront, product comparison, or headless if you have like a very special front end for your customers. For example, Shopware PWA is a keyword here. It's possible too. And if you go to, for example, the storefront channel, you can see that you can define your name, you can define your entry point for the main navigation, how many navigation levels are allowed, the footer navigation entry point, the allowed countries, the default country, languages, payment methods, currency, shipping methods. You can, for example, add the domains too, which are valid for the storefront. Some API keys. You can enable the maintenance mode, for example. Now you see that the shop is in the maintenance mode. This is very practical if you are doing updates. And there are more things to it. This is, for example, the general tab, but you can, of course, go to the products. You can see which products are assigned here. So you can do it here, so with add products, or you go to the products itself and there's like a sales channel assignment. You can have different themes assigned to different sales channels. For example, here we have a Shopware default theme. You can change the theme, you can edit the theme only for this sales channel, so you can have different colors for different sales channels. There's one more important thing, the analytics. Here Google Analytics is ready and basically pre-installed. This is a very basic version of Google Analytics, so I think it's less order tracking, maybe like add to cart, and of course tracking the visitors. There are some extensions in the store like Google Tag Manager, Pixel Your Shop, for example, which are more flexible and more extensive. This is basically everything for now. So this was a small Shopware 6 introduction to the admin, and hopefully you liked this tutorial. It would be really great if you can subscribe to the YouTube channel so you will be informed of new videos which will come soon. I hope you had fun. We see us in the next video. Bye.